Hello everyone, Jet here, and welcome back to my Tretch Craventail playthrough, where we are just pushing into the, pushing down into Lustro. We've actually gone to war with a Clan Pestilence and made a peace treaty with Mazamundi for now, simply because we're trying to put pressure on Pestilence to try and force him to confederate with us. Also, it's probably easier to take him out now than deal with when he can't get behind me. I've got a smaller front than it is to deal with Mazamundi than have him surrounding me. So we're just going to keep the pressure on here. I'm about to attack here. I suspect they're about to do a nasty ambush on me. We'll see how this goes. Need to end turn, so we'll see what happens. So no, we're just going to wait on this and see exactly what happens and how they come in against us. So just going for everybody else we can't see at the moment. It's so nice not having a massive end turn here. Sorry if you hear a few things banging. I've got a few bits and pieces on my desk at the moment from fixing my PC. Currently it's innards are hanging out, as I'm fairly sure some of you are aware of the issues I've been having if you're watching this as I'm doing them. Its innards are hanging out. I've got another power supply attached to it at the moment, seeing if that works or if it's still freezing, because it started freezing again. So we're doing that. If it isn't my power supply, that's the last thing for me to check. Means it's my motherboard or my CPU, which is actually really good because they're brand new and means I can get new ones on warranty, hopefully. I've also already tried a different graphics card and it was still having the same issues. So anyway, Nagaron and Loffen are still having their war. There's no real things going on. Nagaron broke off its attack on Loffen itself there, which I'm not actually all that surprised by, because Loffen has a big garrison. It's not just a big garrison, it is a huge garrison, guys. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. What is Harganif doing down here? I think he's going to invade Bretonia again. And I do think Bretonia is quite powerful. I think the Empire is actually struggling a little bit. Right.
I'll get help. Ambush attack.
Let's try and have some fun. So I'm hoping they come out after us here, because they don't have any agents. So there's a good chance they won't. Well, there's a reasonable chance they won't here. Okay, you're already building up. You are recruiting. We were going to recruit some other things here. Ooh. Oh no, this is going to be a fairly basic army actually. It's this army down here which is getting the really shiny units. This is just going to be a basic army. It's not going to be too basic, so I've got plenty of spare cash, but it's just going to get set up, then thrown down towards me. It doesn't mean I'm not going to throw some These guys are anti-large, I don't want to waste time on them. Death Globe are slightly better. I mean, they're both good. Already got a few of them. Let's get a couple of Storm Vermin Halberds to deal with anti-large. And let's grab a Rat Ogre or two as well. We'll leave that there for the moment. We'll keep expanding it as we go on. You are... Where are we going? We are pushing up here, but pushing up here is potentially dangerous because there are nasties up here. But then again, I can always replace him if he gets knocked over. I really don't care if he falls over, so anything worth us getting at the moment. Actually, yes, the extra I'm going to do this one. Gives us a bit of anti-large. It also does give us the diplomatic bonus versus for other Skaven. I mean, it's not really going to help with these guys, but because they are hating us, unsurprisingly. But as I said, as we pressure here, I really do hope I can get that. Otherwise, I'm just going to wipe them out. So, you know. So back onto our end turn as it goes through all of these other factions who are scarily big over there. The dwarves are still doing well, but the vampires are doing well. Von Karstein's still there somehow. Basically everybody in the old world seems more powerful than me, which kind of worries me. Then again, Mazamundi was more powerful than anything I've seen, and I've managed to hold them off nicely. So with that, I managed to hold them off and push them back. So actually we did quite well there. So I'm not so worried about that. We'll keep an eye on things though. Okay, well, what's going on over in Loffen in Ulfwan? It's just a bit of a messy war going on over there. This is what I'm happy about, this army being trapped over there in the blood swamps, because that means I don't have to worry about that at all. I can just let them... You know, they are going to be busy fighting over there. They can't get over to me easily because they've got to go all the way through Mazamundi's territory to get over to me. Oh, my ambush failed. We're just going to double. We're just going to march both armies onto that town then. And just rack up the pressure on them there. Hopefully. Vampire Coast are just busy getting battered. They are an irrelevance there. I think the only reason they're still in existence is because everybody else is too busy fighting each other.
Call me Lord Craventail. Attack! Fight!
We've got walls, so we want to get some towers out.
Sneak attack! Address me as Lord.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that.
We are brave.
I should have moved these guys forwards. It's when I'm sieging like this that I'm more likely to get the offer of a peace treaty.
Opportunity. Fight!
I'm going to take a while to build some siege equipment here. There's no rush.
Battle fight! Get going!
I'm better to siege. I mean, it's going to hold for a while before it takes any damage, isn't it? What do you want? So we've already got the walls. We'll start on the trade goods.
Tails, move!
Yeah, 5 turns before they start taking attrition, so... But it's also quite a nasty garrison there, so I want to be careful. I hope they don't have an army here. No, that's fine. Oh, yes, you. Oh, wow, what? I didn't even realise I'd lost him. Okay, you can start making your way back over to our main army, Dr. Rataticus. You can go and join Tretch over here.
No! Move, march! I'll lead from rear!
Yeah, Tretch does only have 19. Why can't I merge you in with Tretch? Ah, I can. Okay, what are we on now? Protective gear. So that's good for some of our things, and that will also up this one as well, which is a more damage for more weapon damage for them. I would like to get into oppressive plans. What do I need for that? I need a Temple of the Horned Rat. Where can we build a Temple of the Horned Rat? Ah, we need a top level bell for that. So let's start working on that. Down here is doing reasonably. We're getting everything up down here. We're also increasing all of them. In front of a wall in here for the time being. That's going to help defend here. Here's all got good garrisons. The Skaven are actually quite good defensively. While they don't have the best troops, they're not bad in a defensive battle. Because of the way they do things, you've also got some very damaging counter-artillery to use as well. So, you know, but you've got lots of troops to flood the walls, which really helps, because anybody who comes up over the walls is going to take damage. Also, you can throw together, you know, if they siege one of my towns and they don't take it straight away, within a couple of turns, I can muster an army to come and reinforce as well, which is a nice thing about the Skaven. I can also, as they push back, you know, use menace from below on all of their troops as well, so... The war over here seems to have stalled a bit again, which happens. I'm not particularly bothered about that. How is Nagrond doing? Nagrond is still very powerful. It's probably one of the most powerful factions. Oh, they didn't quite manage to beat Lothern, but they are... Oh no, they have actually captured Lothern itself now, and that probably signals the end for the High Elves, because Lothern will have been one of their major income generators, and that falling for them is going to be huge. That means that Nagrond is potentially going to be being freed up a bit more and able to start expanding elsewhere, which actually I don't necessarily want them to do. Certainly down in Lustria, I don't want them capturing places. I want Lustria for myself. And my eventual, you know, so I can eventually launch a counter-invasion against them from... To be fair, I want the rest of the world for myself, but that's unrealistic at this point. Okay. Things are getting better here. We're getting siege equipment up.
Attack!
Ooh, I need more food. How's public order here? Public order is great here. I'm going to knock these two bells over. Getting 4 from that. Yeah, I'm going to swap them around. Up that bell, up that. Where else can I get food going better? Public order is fine here, so we'll swap you out. Ooh! Gonna up you to top level, that'll be a nice buff to our income. We also, minus 90 public order due to lack of corrupt... It does just say corruption. So actually, our Skaven corruption is gonna have very, very little effect on us now, guys. Which is really good. That's such a benefit. I'm going to start working down that, because that does give me food because of the mod I've got on, guys. The mods are in the bottom, so if you do want to see about that, feel free. Nice thing about this is it does up recruitment capacity, but I don't need... The Untainted is not necessarily beneficial for us now. If that affects... This definitely just says corruption. And if that is any type of corruption... We've got a huge amount of corruption here, and we're getting... So that is... So actually, that's so good for us, actually, because I can flourish in a very corrupted environment now. Which means things like this, I'm just gonna... That's how I got the bigger recruitment pools, by stacking them in places. Let's drop that bell. I still kind of need that bell, don't I? So at least that saved some confusion about how I had such a big amount of recruitment in some places and not in others. So actually what I want in here is I probably want to replace those bells with these guys. Here I can definitely knock over those because I don't care about the corruption now, and we'll replace them to get our food going up a bit. Not that our food is really causing us issues at the moment, but that doesn't mean I want to just forget about it, because food is a useful utility as I expand as well. Stage change starts to start recruiting a little bit. They're all being recruited on global. Can I recruit these guys locally? I don't think I can. No. This is going to be a very tough little army. With a single unit of clan rats in it. I think I can do better than that. We've got some of them. And we get some wind globe bombardiers as well, because they're still very nice, though they're nowhere near as good as the death winged ones. You know what, I'm going for a second warp fire thrower, because they are excellent for taking out infantry. I keep them on my edges and I move them around and batter the enemy with them from the sides. And they are deadly, used correctly. Used incorrectly, they can decimate my own armies as well. But I'm very happy to have a few of them in my army, because they will burn through even the best units, because you saw the damage they did there, guys. And I think they increase the damage other people do to them as well, so having those on the sides firing into a massed unit. The issue is they can overfire and hit my Skaven a little bit as well, so you do have to be a bit careful with them. But come on, I want Lothan to actually start fighting back a bit more here. I want Lothan or a Bretonia to invade and slow Nagarond down, because Nagarond is getting too powerful for my liking, actually. That said, I can probably, once I've got a few more armies out, I'm probably comparable at the moment, though they have a lot of armies. You know, because I can get multiple really good armies out. Then again, I'm never going to enjoy fighting against elves, because elves have archers and have good archers, and we're not so good at dealing with that, so I'd prefer not to. That said, we can always have very sneaky armies to avoid their archers and just jump them. But still. I'm surprised the Vampire Coast are actually still holding on, but they're doing a nice job.
Yes, yes.
I'm sorry, no. Soon, once I've dealt with Clan Pestilence, I will rejoin the war against Mazamundi. Not the law against him, the war against him. But I need to be in the right place first. I can have a lightning strike and not have my reinforcements. That doesn't seem sensible to me.
Go bye. The bell screams.
Yes, the bell does scream.
Engineer.
Dr. Ataticus. Why are you still there? I sent you down here to join your leader. We want some extra train lightning down here.
Greyest of seers. Tretch is ready.
Toxide is doing nicely over here. He's got his own Corpable. What a name. But yeah, so he's going to be able to start pushing soon as well, but he's going to bypass here and move down towards the Chamber of Visions. And then we'll capture here in the Golden Colossi. I suspect they already hold, I'm just not seeing it. Okay, let's start working on some of them.
Must spread our own corruption.
I'm going to knock that over. This one's giving us 6. That's actually better. I'm just trying to work out for something I can rejig a little bit to get myself something extra, but I don't think I need to. 15. I definitely don't need all of these anymore. That region's going to be so good with its generation now. And here is good. I'm tempted to start building another army up here, but I want to see how much I've spent when I get my other 2 armies set up.
Total ruination.
You know what? I'm gonna get some gutter runners in here. Oh no, my global is still full. We might still swap some in, though I can always move these guys down when needs be. So
We are brave, mighty.
okay, he has leveled up as well. His job is just to sit here, so I'm not fussed about him. He's just basically buffing up that garrison, making us look a little bit tougher than we necessarily are to the lizard men, because, well, the lizard men can't necessarily see everything. I mean, as far as the lizard men might know, I say that, they won't be able to see his army because it's in the town, and as far as the lizard men know, that's potentially just a ruined settlement, so our siege is going nicely. There's a fair bit of battering going on over here. I'm still a bit worried about the idea of a Bretonnian invasion, though I can throw together a fairly cheap army if they start heading that way. No, the lizard men are pressuring them, but they're not quite doing as good a job as I expected. But that's not good, not bad or not good. You know, not bad or good, really, because both sides are suffering. It's keeping Mazamundi not looking at me, and it's keeping Pestilence dealing with them, so both sides are being weakened from it. The real thing comes in with my timing of my invasion of the rest of Lustria. I need to get that correct, because if I don't do it correctly, I potentially give them time to... I potentially let the lizard men grow a bit, you know, increase a bit. And potentially the reason the Pestilence have been able to push them back is simply because I was pushing, you know, I was pressuring the lizard men and took a lot of their income off them, so... So we'll have 6, which will cover all of my main units. 2 turns. I could just let these guys take a bit of attrition.
Lead from rear. I will win. Gracia. I see move.
Will he still reinforce?
Stunk ambush. Attack! Fight!
He's still closest to reinforce. but they can't necessarily see him there, so actually that's good. The thing I need to remember though is if these guys charge out, they can still get an ambush on by charging out, which is always feels a little bit, yeah, but it is something they can do. By sallying forth, they can manage to get an ambush on me if they're lucky. So what do I want to build here instead? Oh, straight up, get a resource. See, these all generate less income than these. These all generate more income. So actually, we're going to get ourselves a rubbish pit simply because it generates that a little bit more income. Sorry guys, this hasn't actually been the most interesting session because I've just been... But you do get these. We've just been, you know, we took a few big losses and we've just been rejigging ourselves. All that's really happened is that the Dark Elves have managed to expand themselves a little bit in Ulthwan, but even there, it's still, you know, they've still not won that war. It is still grinding on. It's not territory I can take easily anyway. It's all red to me, so I'm really not that fussed about the Dark Elves getting that. Oh, I am worried about is the Dark Elves coming and doing a counter invasion against us. So it might be worth us trying to take here, and before they finish up here, starting the war with the Lizard Men again, just so that they don't have any coastal territories, guys. Because anything in those coastal territories they can use to push us back with, obviously. So, Oh, the end turns are still taking ages, even though we're not seeing what's going on. It still takes quite a while sometimes, guys. So let's see. I'm going to grab that for the extra growth in my provinces. A little bit of extra food. Ooh, our baby... okay, you can get this. Our baby warp engineer is slowly levelling up.
Clan Rictus, to war! To battle, I come after!
Next time. Let's go grab this boat. Bow it. Okay, how is this army doing? You are actually... You can get 2 more of them. You've got 2 rat ogres. 18. I'm going to get a couple of units of Death Runners as well for my ambush force with them. Okay, you can swap back as they can obviously see us, and let's enter. Okay, guys. So we've just been getting ourselves set up. As I said, we've not done much, but actually we've probably, what we've done there is in that turn is probably almost more important than some of our battles, guys, simply because we've got to fight our battles, yes, but we also need the back, the back end set up. We need all of our logistics set up in the rear to be able to actually push. So now we're going to have 3 big armies, a 4th coming down. We're really going to be in that position to start ramping up the pressure again now. What I'm going to do is this army's going to come down. He's going to pick up this little lord. They're going to go and try and take out the high elves here. And they're going to poise themselves ready to restart the invasion with Monday as soon as we can. Because Monday is busy elsewhere. I'm not going to do that early, though we might start pushing out another army as well shortly. Because you've seen we can do that relatively quickly. But we're going to keep the pressure on Pestilence until we can force a peace treaty and potentially a confederation. And we've definitely pushed them back enough now. It might even be worth us just throwing a peace treaty with them so we can just work on the lizard men a little bit, push the lizard men down a bit, and then swap and change, because that helps us. It means we're fighting on smaller fronts. That said, I can probably push all the way down here relatively safely. It's pushing over here I don't particularly want to do. If I do confederate with Pestilence, I will probably still take some losses when we do eventually go for it. You can double time it. Perfect, they're coming in. With another Toxide, so we'll have Toxide versus Toxide there shortly. Toxide has a very nice army here, so... Oh, why did we not get Poison Gutter Runners? Okay, he's only got bog stand Gutter Runners rather than Poison ones, which was silly for us to not give him. They're nearly ready. You can just fill up with rubbish units.
Guide us, Horned One.
Get a single unit poison slingers in there, just so we can use them to swap into somebody else. You can move up here, and we are going to end this one here, guys. As I said, I'm sorry we've not done a huge amount this session, but it's just been getting ourselves back in and back set up after those couple of wars we took. And you did see, guys, they were quite vicious. So next time we're going to start that pressure again. We're going to start pressuring onto Pestilence again and pushing them back again. Break this stalemate. But then again, as you've seen, they're now pushing up an army, so they have potentially been doing the same thing. But they are also engaged with lizard men, so they're not quite as free to do that as me. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. If you do have any comments, please throw them in the comments, or jump onto my Discord, which is linked below in the comments and in the description, as well as my social media information and my Patreon accounts. As always, though, just thank you very much for watching, guys, and I do hope that you have enjoyed this.